Let me tell you a beef I got with people who complain about their lives. One of the beefs that I have is that they do not aspire towards reasonability. They don't aspire towards a comprehension of what they need, not want, what they need to become a stable-minded individual, an individual who makes better choices, an individual who becomes sharper and wiser and stronger. I'm never smug about somebody failing. I'm never smug about someone being in a state of confusion and discombobulation. What I do get a little uppity and self-righteous about is a lack of declaration of effort. Because what I see is often the person who complains that I have been familiar with all my life is someone who is hell bent on believing that the world is the answer, the world is the solution, and worldliness and people loving me, not loving me in a deep way, being connected to me in a deep way, and people and praising me as worthy. Then I will be who I want to be or what I'd like to be, not who I need to be. And even the conflation of need with want is the problem, because even in that same breath, they would articulate it as a need, when in actuality it's a want, it's a desire, and the world has gotten into your head, man. And obviously we know that's the case because we see, look, our particular climate at the moment is one where celebrities are just. It's crazy that there's still celebrity worship in 2026. And the reason for that is because if people's lives are indeed as hard as they are, there should be a worship of a value of values. There should be a worship of an aspiration towards a community, an aspiration towards a kind of connectivity. Instead, it's business as usual. You know, one thing I got beef with, and the other thing is this sense of being defeated and still complain. If you want to be defeated and call and just be like, I call it whatever, I'm gonna go la la la, then do that. But then you can't go la 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 la, act like you don't need to do anything to grow, or act like you quit on the whole growth campaign and the evolution campaign and the learning and being a student of existence campaign. If you're gonna do that, then your complaints have no credibility because it spits in the face of the physics of humanity and the physics of reality, quite frankly. And I say that as somebody who struggles on a daily basis. I struggle on a daily basis to function at a basic level. It is a fight for me. And I don't say that proudly. I don't say that with shame. I just say that with truth. I just say that with truth. And the silver lining there, you can then become a nihilist and believe it's all pointless, or you can make the decision that I've made and realize that, look, I might have my complaints, but honestly, if I'm being completely honest, not only are my circumstances much better than millions in this world, but that shouldn't even matter. But I always say, if we're going to compare and contrast, then you might as well use that capacity or that inclination to compare and contrast with people who are doing worse than you. Historically speaking, even if everybody had a life that was better than mine, objectively speaking, historically speaking, billions of human beings have had terrible, nightmarish lives. And we don't want to internalize that fact, because to internalize that would then mean that we can't scapegoat, we can't use our current circumstances any longer as a scapegoat. Now, I'm not talking about people who have been stricken with terminal illnesses. I'm not talking about people who have just all kinds of just significant, profound misfortune. I'm talking about those who are similar to my circumstance throughout my life, where the only thing getting the best of you is really you. When it comes down to it, it's really your chemistry. It's really, at my default, if I were to just rely on my default and just gonna be like whatever, I'd be screwed. I would have no goodness in my life because my default is lazy. My default is a glutton. My default is self-centered. My default is unhealthy. My default tends to lead me to a delusional sense of self, one where truth it takes a back seat. And truth has to be the priority. Reasonability has to be the priority. Health has to be a priority. All these things are more important than love, I would even say. Because then people, what they talk about and what they say, I love, 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 love. You cannot harness love properly, I would argue, unless you have attained a stable mindedness, unless you are aligned within yourself to where you have a kind of healthiness flowing within you, not a health so much that you'll never be sick or nothing will ever bad will happen. But when I talk about health, I mean your sleep is on point, your nourishment is on point, your physical activity is on point, and your sleep is on point, and your healthy conversations is on point. Healthy conversations being one of the most underestimated aspects of what I'm talking about. If you hear anything right now, my dog is going. She's going crazy on this her toys, but. What I'm talking about is an aspiration and a perspective and an effort and a seeking and a chasing. And people they think they've done enough. I've learned enough. I've become enough. They just want to go on autopilot, and that's fine. But how dare you go on autopilot and then complain as if you're trying your best or trying in a wiser way? Sometimes it's not about just the raw energy being applied. It's about just sharper, more quote unquote boring decisions. Sometimes it's about honestly just truly enduring the boredom of nothingness, which is similar to that Du Bois quote where he tells his daughter to take the cold bath bravely with regards to mastering yourself. Du Bois said, take the cold bath bravely, master yourself. And that is essentially what being in silence and boredom is. It's that beautiful thing. It's a beautiful litmus test to see how fatigued and tired you are. Pick up a book, begin reading. Upon reading, if your eyes become heavy and you become a little bit sleepy, that is a beautiful thing. Let yourself rest. Just let yourself resign into that state of being. Let yourself just close your eyes and let your mind finally recover. I resent. I don't resent people's adversity and hardship. I don't resent people's discombobulation. I can't stress that enough because I feel I relate more so to people who lean toward dysfunction than I do people who are just naturally, beautifully, quote unquote, normal without any issue, even though I think that's an illusion as well. But I'm just saying. But what I don't relate to is this sort of, there's nothing that can be done ass crap. I hate that so much. I hate it so much, man, because it spits in the face of so many before us who had it way harder, dude. Like food, dude, we have so many conveniences that people just having air conditioning sets you a level apart from billions of human beings that existed before you. Just having a refrigerator sets you from billions of people apart. Just from having internet sets you from billions of people apart. It's sick, man. We're really sick in the head because we want to look at our circumstances like, but you can become better. And I will say this, becoming better has only helped my life. It has not subtracted anything. The one thing that has been removed, illusions. The illusion of X, Y, and Z. I don't need praise from anybody. I don't need anybody telling me how awesome I am. I need just the actuality of being awesome in each moment. And then again, rinse and repeat every single day. It really isn't about a destination. It can't be about the destination. There is no quote unquote destination that will bring you some kind of sense of nirvana. It truly is that thing that people talk about where it's about the journey. It's about the pursuit. It's about the path. And if the hardest thing in the world for us is that, thank your lucky stars, man. Seriously, people were not living past like 25 in certain circumstances and periods throughout this earth. Like, just keep it real. Like people were falling prey to just random illnesses, not random illnesses, but just all kinds of illnesses that we are very much so protected against. There's just so many reasons to thank your lucky stars and to look at yourself like, I have an opportunity here. And I hate this opportunity to be great. F being great in the eyes of everybody else. Be great in your own eyes by being somebody that knows you're putting forth your best. And I'm gonna tell you a funny little interesting thing about doing your best. Doing your best makes your time feel as though quality time was spent. I just know that for me, I've been on this pursuit of doing my best for years and years and years. People keep on, where's the time go by? For me, I have no illusion. The time, it's not for me. When I look at the time, I have zero notion of where the time went by. I can see every increment very clearly. I have no confusion as to where the time went. And I love that. I love that I don't look back and be like, oh man, there's a major sense of continuity for me. Ever since I was a child, I see it all very clearly, and it's a beautiful thing. And I owe a lot of that to a pursuit of being grounded in the moment, a present mindedness, and a pursuit of health that I started in my early 20s that I didn't even know to what degree and what kind of profound effects it have on me even now. Anyway, I'm just saying this to encourage you to put that best foot forward, to try your best, to believe in standards, to believe in trying, because trying, there's nothing bad that can come from it. The only bad that comes is when we're not. Like straight up, the alternative to doing your best is what? Being like, oh, F this, being in this limbo state. I personally have experienced the greatest dissatisfaction from trying to be in that kind of limbo place of like, whatever. I'd much rather be exhausted from putting my best foot forward, because at least you're getting something of it. There's something beautiful about knowing that I'm becoming sharper, I'm becoming better. And you have to recover. You can't just, it's different from, some people just work, and they exhaust themselves to the point where they get sick. And I'm saying you can create the conditions in your life. Many of us have the privilege of living the way that we'd like to live, modestly, even in the context of modesty. You can have the privacy you'd like to have, you can have the seclusion you'd like to have, or you can have the camaraderie you'd like to have, although you can't control the people. And the bottom line is, sometimes when you become more of a quality person, it's harder to find quality people, but quality people do exist. They do. Try, keep growing. I digress.